Hello, myself is Professor Praveen Bhandari. Today I am going to talk about the hierarchy of hazard control. I am very sure that similar to my earlier videos, you will like this video also. Please share it among your networks. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to YouTube channel for more videos of this kind. Now, the topic which I have selected for this video session, hierarchy of hazard control, it represents a systematic protocol, if followed, can reduce the accidents or either may eliminate the accidents. Now, let us understand what this topic is all about and what are the various ways by which we can reduce or eliminate the accidents. The first and obvious question in our mind is what is hazard? So basically, hazard, if you ask to any general person, he will always say that if anything is hazardous means it will always result into an accident. It's correct. So if we understand, the hazard represent the potential for damage or accidents. Now, this hazardous situation can be either because of the operation, maybe because of the material used, maybe because of some human behaviors, etc. etc. So let us understand the causes or possibility of hazard. So it may be due to unsafe conditions. These are related to environmental conditions which are prevailing at the workplace. Unsafe act, these are because of the human behavior. The nature or properties of the material handled. Sometimes the material generically may be hazardous. Say, for example, explosive, flammable material. So they are generically hazardous, or say chlorine compounds. So because of these materials, there may be hazard. Sometimes the process or the operation itself may be hazardous. Say, for example, highly exothermic reactions, high pressure, high temperature reactions. So the nature of the operation or the process itself is such that it may result in an accident. Now, what is meant by hierarchy of hazard control? So basically, the hierarchy means the particular sequential protocol by which we can reduce or eliminate the hazard. So it represents systematic and sequential approach for minimizing or mitigating the hazards. Now, how about the hierarchy of hazard control? So basically, hierarchy of hazard control represent some approach which are to be followed so that if based on those particular components, if some changes are made, maybe in the design or maybe in the process, maybe in the operation, it is possible to reduce the hazard. So what are these components? Let us try to understand. Now these components which needs to be considered are represented, say, in the various layers of the inverted pyramid, and these components are elimination, substitution, engineering control, admin control, and PP. Now, we are going to study this in a detail, but let us understand in a single word. This use of PP is least effective, whereas if we considered or if our approach is of eliminating the hazard, it is the most effective. So normally we should always try to eliminate the hazard rather than using the least effective approach of personal protective equipments. Now, in this hierarchy of hazard controls, elimination is the stage which needs to be considered during the development of certain process or certain operations or some machines itself. And therefore, if that thought is kept into our mind while designing the process, designing operation, or designing equipment, it is possible to eliminate the hazard. Now, substitution means what? Substituting certain material or the operation which may reduce the hazard. So, we can replace the hazard, or we can replace the hazard means replace the hazardous operation or hazardous material. Now, engineering control means isolating the people from hazard by using certain means. Now, what are those means that we are going to understand it in a detail? Admin control involves basically the change in work procedure or designing certain SOPs by which the hazard because of the proper work procedure can be eliminated or can be reduced. And the last option, after all above options are explored and exhausted, and in spite of that, if the hazard remains, then we can use PP, that is personal protective equipment, and we can promote the use of PP to a worker by which they can protect themselves. Now, let us try to understand these components one by one. The first and most effective approach of hazard control is by elimination. Now, the I'm just for the example, for the sake of understanding, I have listed some operations that is possible hazard: working at height for repairing, then manual lifting of heavy loads. Now, if these are considered as the hazard, then what is the solution? The solution in first case is, can we design the process or operation by which, or in which instead of working at a height for repairing, we can lower the component or object to be repaired at a ground level itself. Or manual lifting of heavy loads, can we use hoist or lift, or use material handling device? Can we use lighter weight material for manufacturing of machine components, etc., etc.? So if these things are to be are considered during the designing operation itself, or during the design stage itself, we can eliminate the hazard. So this hazard elimination is possible by eliminating hazardous material or machines or step by redesigning or rethinking or research. Now, the second is hazard control by substitution. So it involves the replacement of certain materials which are perceived to be hazardous. So this method is used if the elimination of hazard does not reduce the hazard completely, then substitution is the most pursued methodology of hazard control. Now, what are the examples of hazard control by substitution? Replacing hazardous solvent with less hazardous solvent, avoiding use of lead in glass or paint manufacturing, replace chlorine by ozone in swimming pool, using detergent solutions in place of organic solvents if cleaning is to be done, or replacing flammable solvents by non-flammable solvents. So then the next is hazard control by engineering control. So what does it means? It indicates the changes to be done while designing of operation. Now, this designing of operation doesn't mean the elimination. Basically, we can use certain interlocks, we can use certain barriers which will avoid or reduces the hazard and thereby an accident. These are the possible ways by which the engineering control can be applied for reducing the hazard. Use of safety interlocks, replacing manual control with PLC or SCADA, PLC, SCADA or DCS, designed for safety, isolating the hazard by barrier or shield, using speed governor, say in case of high speed movement of the vehicle is to be avoided, then we can use the speed governors, or vehicles, or it may be a machine also. Then safety walls, using fume hoods if some hazardous reactions are to be carried out. So these are basically the barriers or certain ways, that is safety interlocks or certain control systems which needs to be made as an integral part of the operation so that the hazard can be avoided. The next is hazard control or administrative controls. Basically, the hazard control by administrative control makes the changes in work procedure, uh, or it involves the preparation of some standard operating procedure and ensuring that it is followed by devising certain rules or regulations. And so that once the people start complying to the SOP or rules and regulation, these hazard can be reduced. So these strategies used are developing SOPs, implementing or formulating some work rule which modify the work procedure to comply with safety norms, sensitizing the people about hazard and monitor for safety compliance and violation, safety audits and mock drill to check the preparedness about how effectively the administrative procedures are being complied. The next is hazard control by use of PPE. Now, PPE stands for personal protective equipment. Now, personal protective equipment provides the last line of defense. That means if we wish to reduce the hazard, we should try all possible ways like elimination, substitution, engineering control, administrative control. And if all these options are explored and exhausted, then and then only, if at all any hazard remain, then in that case the workmen can be protected by using the personal protective equipment. And that's why I often says that the personal protective equipment provides the last line of defense. So there are various types of the personal protective equipments like head protectors, eye protectors, ear protectors, hand gloves, then the full body suit, then safety shoes, self-contained breathing apparatus. Various types of the personal protective equipments are used depending upon the body parts to be protected or depending upon the situation in which the worker is operating. And these options, as mentioned earlier, shall be explored only after all possible ways of hazard controls are used. So, just to conclude, some concluding remarks are: by considering the effectiveness and significance of various components in a hierarchy of hazard control, we can either eliminate or reduce the accidents, and if at all it occurs, then we can reduce their effect and the possible damage. I'm very sure you must have understood what is the meaning of hierarchy of control, what are the components which are involved into hierarchy of control, and how we can either eliminate the accident or reduce the hazard or minimize the hazard. Thank you for patient listening and watching this video. If you are not subscribed, do subscribe to my YouTube channel Praveen Bhandari Nandurdi. Do share among your networks for the propagation of the knowledge related to the safety. Thank you once again.